Hey there, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're about to uncover 11 fascinating psychological facts about women insights, so powerful they could completely shift the way you see relationships and the world around you. Most men, believe it or not, remain totally unaware of these secrets. That's why so many of them face rejection without even understanding why. But here's the good news. By learning these facts, you place yourself in the elite 5% of men who truly stand out and know how to connect on a deeper level. And ladies, don't think this is just for the guys. These truths are just as valuable for you. When you understand them, you gain the power to become even more magnetic, more irresistible, and more confident in how you carry yourself. So let me ask, are you ready to discover what most people will never know? If you are, take just a second to hit that like button. It may feel small, but it really helps us share more of this powerful Stoic wisdom with the world. And of course, if you haven't already, subscribe and ring the bell so you never miss another video like this one. Let's also make this interactive. If this topic excites you, drop a 1 in the comments right now. If you think there's something we could do better, type Z and let us know. We're always improving for you. Now, buckle up, because we're about to dive into these eye-opening insights that will transform the way you understand women and attraction. Psychological. Fact number 1. Women often fall in love because of scent. Yes, smell is that powerful. Studies reveal that if a woman enjoys a man's natural scent, her attraction toward him can increase dramatically by as much as 85.5%. According to research from the Federal University of Rio de Janeiro, women have nearly 50% more neurons in their olfactory bulb than men, which makes their sense of smell far sharper. Imagine this. While you might barely notice a faint fragrance, she can pick up on it instantly. That's why choosing the right fragrance isn't just about smelling nice. It's a hidden key that gives you a major advantage in attraction. And don't go anywhere, because later in this video, I'll reveal which types of fragrances stimulate the senses most effectively. Psychological fact number 2. Women are naturally drawn to men who have their own unique way of doing things. But here's the twist: pushing too far, being overly aggressive, or trying to dominate her will almost always backfire. Respect matters, and so does balance. If you can show her that you're confident, while also revealing a touch of vulnerability, you'll often find her more open and willing to connect. It's all about building trust, paying attention to her body language, and picking up on those subtle signals she sends sometimes without saying a single word. Psychological fact number 3. Women may feel something when they're near you, but they don't always express it openly. If a woman has caught your attention, resist the urge to immediately place yourself in the just friends category. Studies suggest that 68% of women admitted they would consider a romantic connection with a man if they sensed the possibility of things going their way. That's why it's important to make your interests clear right from the start, even if it's done subtly. Want to know how to do this effectively? Let me know in the comments, and I'll dive deeper. Psychological fact number 4. Women are attracted to men who are pre-selected. This phenomenon, known as pre-selection, shows that when other women express interest in a man, his attractiveness multiplies sometimes by 3-fold. It also happens when a man is surrounded by women in a social setting. Here's the simple takeaway: make female friends, spend time with them, and let others see it. They don't have to be romantically interested in you. Their presence alone sends a powerful signal that can instantly change how other women perceive you. Psychological fact number 5. If she teases you, she's interested. That playful nickname, that light-hearted jab, it's often her way of showing attraction while testing how you respond. Women frequently use body language and playful teasing as subtle signals of interest. If you genuinely like her, don't shut it down. Instead, match her energy, play along, and let that shared laughter build trust and connection. And those are just the beginning. In the next part, we'll keep uncovering even more surprising psychological facts that will give you a completely new perspective on attraction and relationships. For example, if she gives you a playful nickname, you could respond with something like, "I know you call me that because you like it. Do you think I haven't noticed?" A simple line like this shows confidence and awareness, which can spark even more interest. Psychological fact number 6. Women are drawn to men who can understand their unspoken language. Unlike many men, who often wait for direct words, women tend to communicate interest through subtle signals. A glance, a gesture, or even the way she positions herself can say more than words ever could. Why? Because women are often more hesitant to express their feelings openly. Deep down, they fear rejection. So instead of saying it outright, They let their body language do the talking. If a woman deliberately sends you a signal, like touching her hair while looking at you, or leaning closer, she expects you to notice and respond. But here's the tricky part. If you miss her cues, she may quietly pull back and move on, leaving you wondering what went wrong. Want me to break down more of these hidden signals in detail? Just drop a comment and I'll reveal more. Psychological fact number 7. Women care deeply about their appearance during intimate moments. It's not just about the clothes you sit, also about what's underneath, right down to the design and color of their lingerie. For many women, this is tied directly to confidence and feeling desirable. Instead of staying quiet, take the opportunity to compliment her, tell her how stunning she looks, especially in those moments. That simple acknowledgement can boost her self-esteem tremendously, and often, it encourages her to put even more effort into looking attractive for you in the future. Psychological fact number 8. When a man connects with a woman on an emotional level, she experiences intimacy in a far deeper and more intense way. Unlike men, who tend to be more physically driven, women rely heavily on emotional and mental stimulation. That's why rushing often backfires. The secret is to slow down, communicate subtly, and create a safe space where she feels understood. Encourage her to express her emotions, show genuine empathy, and let her know you're truly present. This deeper bond not only strengthens intimacy, but also solidifies her emotional connection with you. But remember, this is a delicate balance. Push too fast, and the moment can break. Psychological fact number 9. Many women feel a stronger emotional bond with their friends than with their partners. Surprising, right? Studies show that when women leave their partners at home and spend time with their best friends, they experience heightened emotions and relief. Why? Because with friends, they feel free of judgment and find unconditional emotional support. This closeness can sometimes be mistaken for love, which is why it's so important to respect her friendships while also maintaining healthy boundaries. Otherwise, emotional betrayal can sneak in without either of you realizing it. Psychological fact number 10. Some women accept dates simply for free food. Shocking but true. American surveys reveal that 38% of women have admitted to this. It highlights just how complex dating can be, and why a woman might agree to see you isn't always about romance. So, before you ask someone out, make sure her interest is genuine. If you're curious about the signs that reveal whether a girl actually likes you, let me know in the comments. I'll share some extra tips at the end of this video. Psychological fact number 11. When women are upset, they secretly want you to approach them. If she's angry or frustrated, ignoring her won't solve anything. What truly helps is showing empathy, paying attention, and trying to understand the reason behind her emotions. Women can be harder to read at times, but one thing is certain: they are deeply emotional by nature. Their feelings, both positive and negative, run strong and intense. Interestingly, some women are even drawn to men who mistreat them, because the roller coaster of highs and lows becomes oddly stimulating for them. Now that we've gone through all 11 psychological facts, the picture is becoming clearer, isn't it? But the real question is, how can you actually apply this knowledge in your daily life to attract, connect, and build lasting relationships? Remember the very first psychological fact about how smell can influence love? Let's expand on that. A 2017 study shed more light on this by testing the effects of specific fragrances, jasmine and lavender, on both men and women. In the experiment, each woman spent time with two men, one who wore a perfume without those fragrances, and another who wore a jasmine-based scent. The results: jasmine had a powerful effect, significantly increasing the women's interest in the men wearing it. That's how strong and subtle the impact of fragrance can be. And here's the interesting part. You don't need anything extravagant. These notes of jasmine and lavender are already found in many popular perfumes, including classics like the French Orphan and Pays Basque Eclectic. This just proves that something as invisible as scent can become a silent yet irresistible force in attraction. Before we move further, a quick reminder: if you've made it this far into the video, thank you for sticking with us. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment so Mind of Stoic can keep bringing you more of these powerful insights. Now, let's shift gears and talk about something different but equally important: the stories people tell. Every smile you see has a story behind it. But here's the real question: can you tell whether that smile is genuine or just a mask hiding something else? You need to be cautious with people whose stories seem to change often. Inconsistent narratives are a red flag, a sign that someone might be putting on a facade. Think of it like a chameleon. It changes its colors to blend in with the environment. Similarly, people who constantly shift their stories to fit in, to impress, or even to manipulate. Over time, these stories begin to contradict one another, because it's nearly impossible to keep lies perfectly aligned. That inconsistency is rarely accidental. It's usually a calculated strategy to win favor, gain attention, or cover up the truth. Now, contrast that with someone authentic. A real person with genuine experiences may forget small details here and there, normal, but their core story, the essence of who they are, remains consistent. Fake people, on the other hand, get tangled in the web of their own fabrications, often struggling to remember which version they told last. And when that happens, trust begins to erode quickly, both in personal relationships and professional environments. In workplaces especially, inconsistent stories can poison the atmosphere. Imagine trying to work with colleagues you can't rely on, or managers making decisions based on false information. It creates confusion, frustration, and ultimately a toxic culture. That's why paying close attention to someone's words over time is crucial. Patterns eventually reveal themselves, but staying aware doesn't mean living in paranoia. It simply means protecting yourself. If something doesn't sound right, don't be afraid to ask for clarification. More often than not, someone spinning a false story will crack under the pressure of a simple question. This connects directly to another sign of inauthenticity: superficial connections. Fake people rarely build relationships with depth. Instead, they spread themselves wide, chasing numbers, names, and quick advantages. Their interactions are more about what they can gain than genuine respect or care. You'll notice they often avoid real conversations about dreams, struggles, or feelings. Instead, they hover around titles, appearances, or social benefits. They move from one circle to another, always chasing the next advantage. But in doing so, they lose sight of something far more valuable: the comfort and joy that comes from deep, meaningful relationships. And this brings us to another revealing pattern of fake behavior that you'll want to recognize and avoid. Those who form close ties with fake individuals often end up feeling drained, used, and unappreciated. Over time, this creates a lonely existence, one that lacks genuine companionship and warmth. So, how do you spot such superficiality? Pay attention. 2 patterns. Do they only talk about what others can do for them? Do they constantly shift from one social circle to another, always seeking something new? And what about excessive flattery? Have you noticed it? In professional settings especially, over-the-top compliments can be a red flag. They can create a false sense of trust while hiding true intentions. Fake people often seek relationships as transactional deals rather than mutual bonds. Their flattery is rarely genuine. Instead, it's a tactic to win favor or cover up a lack of real competence or commitment. In contrast, authentic compliments are specific, heartfelt, and based on real qualities or achievements. They're given freely, without expectation of anything in return. That's why learning to distinguish between genuine praise and manipulative flattery is so important. It helps protect you from deception. Another clear warning sign is a lack of empathy. A hollow heart simply cannot connect deeply with others. People who lack empathy often come across as indifferent to the needs or feelings of those around them. They focus solely on their own desires, their own goals, and in doing so, they create emotional distance. This detachment is one of the biggest red flags in both personal and professional relationships. Think about it. How does someone respond when others are upset or struggling? Do they offer comfort and understanding, or do they ignore it altogether? And when others succeed, can they celebrate sincerely, or do they make it about themselves? A lack of empathy can be subtle at first, but over time, it becomes obvious and it can lead to manipulative, even harmful, behaviors. Relationships with such people often become one-sided, where the needs and feelings of one person are consistently dismissed or undervalued. In the workplace, this absence of empathy can be even more destructive. It creates a hostile environment, where colleagues feel invisible, underappreciated, and misunderstood. That's why recognizing empathy, or the lack of it, requires careful observation. Ask yourself, do they show genuine concern during hard times? Do they demonstrate patience and understanding when situations get difficult? The answers can reveal a lot about someone's character, and that brings us to one of the most dangerous traits of fake people: manipulation. Strings are for puppets, not for human beings. Yet manipulators treat people exactly that way. They often disregard emotions, well-being, and autonomy, using others purely for personal gain. This behavior can appear in many forms. It's subtle, like guilt tripping or fake charm. And sometimes it's blatant, like coercion or outright exploitation. Manipulators tend to have a sharp understanding of human psychology, and they use it against others. They know how to twist emotions, bend situations, and shift blame until their victim feels confused, guilty, or even responsible for the manipulator's actions. This toxic dynamic eats away at self-esteem, leaving people doubting themselves and losing confidence in their own judgment. That's why recognizing and managing manipulation is essential, whether in personal life or in professional settings. Only by staying aware can you maintain healthy, respectful relationships built on honesty and trust. After understanding how manipulation silently damages relationships, it becomes clear why learning to protect ourselves is so important. Recognizing these hidden tactics is the first step toward building bonds rooted in respect and authenticity. And as we continue, another pattern of insincerity emerges, one that often hides behind the mask of friendship. Fair weather friends. Have you ever noticed how some people are only present when life is easy and celebrations are plenty, yet seem to vanish the moment real challenges appear? These individuals are quick to enjoy your victories, but absent when their support is truly needed. Their inconsistency creates not only disappointment in the moment, but also a false illusion of dependability. What good is a companion who disappears in the storm? Over time, their absence leaves friends, family, and even colleagues feeling abandoned and unsupported. In personal relationships, this unreliability can cause loneliness and betrayal. Within professional environments, it disrupts teamwork and slows progress. True loyalty and reliability are never proven in times of comfort, but in moments of adversity. That is where the difference between a fair weather friend and a genuine one becomes crystal clear. Closely tied to this is another behavior: broken promises. Imagine building a castle on sand, beautiful at first, but destined to collapse. That is what it feels like to rely on people who make commitments yet rarely follow through. A promise, after all, is more than words. It is a pledge of integrity. And when someone repeatedly breaks it, they show not only disrespect for others, but also a lack of respect for themselves. This unreliability corrodes trust. In personal connections, it breeds disappointment, uncertainty, and emotional distress. In professional spaces, it damages reputations and even threatens career opportunities. Over time, people who constantly break promises lose credibility, leaving those around them guarded and skeptical. To deal with such individuals, it is crucial to set clear boundaries, hold them accountable, and protect yourself by never relying solely on their word. And then, there's another sign of falseness, one that hides not in absence, but in presence. That is all too loud. Excessive self-promotion. Some fake individuals thrive on constant attention, exaggerating their achievements to feed an insatiable need for admiration. Instead of celebrating the accomplishments of others, they manipulate situations so that the spotlight never leaves them. Rather than demonstrating genuine confidence, they chase validation. They inflate their importance, demanding recognition, as though it were owed to them. This relentless hunger for admiration creates imbalance in personal relationships, where one person's needs and victories overshadow everyone else's. In the workplace, such behavior is even more disruptive, turning collaboration into competition, corroding team spirit, and poisoning progress. Recognizing excessive self-promotion requires keen observation, and as we move forward, we'll explore how spotting these subtle signals can protect your peace and help you surround yourself with people who value authenticity over performance. How do they talk about their accomplishments? Do they constantly steer conversations back to themselves, or inflate small victories into grand achievements? Sometimes, they even fabricate details just to appear more important. These recurring patterns often reveal a borderline between simple confidence and unhealthy self-promotional behavior, and ultimately, inauthenticity. That's when trusting your instincts becomes a powerful tool. Our intuition often notices what logic has not yet caught. A small hesitation in someone's tone, a detail that doesn't quite fit, or even the way they avoid eye contact. These subtle cues spark a gut feeling long before the mind tries to explain it. But, can instincts be wrong? Of course. Past experiences, hidden biases, or emotional triggers can cloud our judgment. So the key is balance. Trust your instincts, but pair them with rational thought and careful observation. If your inner voice whispers that someone isn't being honest, don't dismiss it. Instead, take a step back and watch more closely. Seek patterns, gather evidence, and see whether your feelings are confirmed or contradicted. Relying solely on instinct may mislead us, especially in complex social settings. But combining intuition with awareness creates a sharper, more reliable perspective. By developing self-awareness and learning to recognize our own biases, we refine the accuracy of our instincts. Used wisely, they help us distinguish between masks and genuine faces, allowing us to form connections built on truth instead of illusion. In the end, instincts are like a compass, guiding us in the right direction, but the compass works best when paired with a clear map, rational thought, and observation. Together, they give us a more nuanced understanding of people, enabling us to build authentic, lasting bonds. Understanding inauthenticity, then, is not just useful, it's essential. Every sign we've uncovered, from broken promises to exaggerated self-praise, acts as a guidepost in navigating human relationships. And here at Mind of Stoic, we continue this mission, helping you see people more clearly and connect more genuinely. If these insights resonate with you, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share your experiences in the comments below. Your story may be the very light that helps someone else find their way, because in the end, authenticity is what allows us to thrive. And as we close this part of the journey, let's prepare to turn towards something even deeper. How resilience in the face of envy and malice can transform you into a tree standing firm against the storm. After understanding how resilience can turn challenges into opportunities, let's now take one step further towards mastering your destiny. You will learn how to remain firm, strong, and calm, no matter what life throws at you. In this final part, we'll dive into 17 timeless Stoic rules from the great philosopher, Epictetus. And remember, true strength doesn't come from loud declarations, but from the quiet illumination of wisdom, guiding us like a steady flame in the darkness. The first rule is simple, yet profound. Prepare to fail. Progress isn't born from perfection, but from trial and error. Epictetus reminds us that being called a fool is not something to fear, it's an invitation to grow. Every stumble becomes a stepping stone, every mistake a lesson that refines us. After all, can anyone reach greatness without first enduring failure? The second rule is a sober reminder: death awaits us all. This is not a call to pessimism, but a gentle nudge to live wisely. When we remember that time is finite, we begin to ask ourselves, is it worth spending years chasing what will vanish when we are gone? Awareness of mortality helps us focus on what truly matters and see setbacks for what they are: temporary, not ultimate. Next comes the third rule: listen twice as much as you speak. Nature gave us 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason. Epic teaches us not to fall in love with our own voice, but to grow wiser by listening to the voices of others. Wisdom often comes quietly, in the words we almost overlook. So, why not start today? Pay attention to what others share, and let their lessons shape your path. The fourth rule may feel heavy, but is crucial. Always be prepared for the worst. Life is full of uncertainties about our jobs, our families, our health, our finances. Instead of letting fear consume us, Epictetus proposes imagining that our worst fears have already come true. Strange as it sounds, this mindset strips fear of its power and allows us to face life with calm resilience. The fifth rule builds on this strength: devise coping strategies. Fortune may bless us with success, but with it comes envy, exploitation, and challenges from both outside and within. A Stoic does not deny these threats, but prepares for them. By having strategies in place, we can hold our heads high, walk steadily, and stay unshaken. Now we enter the sixth rule: recognize the poison of guilt. Like a silent plague, guilt weakens our spirit and blinds us to growth. While ordinary people may blame themselves or others, the wise take responsibility and move forward. Modern thought echoes this. Guilt does little to heal. What heals is accountability, the courage to face mistakes, correct them, and continue without chains pulling us back. From here, Epictetus offers a liberating truth in the seventh rule. True wealth is contentment. Happiness doesn't come from endless desires, but from gratitude. The Stoic finds joy not in what is missing, but in what is already present. Complaints weigh us down. Appreciation lifts us higher. Isn't it true that peace feels richer than possessions? The eighth rule is a humbling reminder. Practice humility in learning. To grow, we must admit what we don't know. Epictetus calls us to approach life like children with curiosity, openness, and wonder. Boasting of knowledge only closes the door to wisdom. But humility, it keeps us learning endlessly. Finally, the ninth rule. Your reactions shape your fate. We cannot command the winds of life, but we can steer our sails. Misfortune may strike, yet what defines us is not the event, but the response we choose. In this truth lies the essence of Stoicism, the power to transform suffering into strength, chaos into clarity. And this is only the beginning. From here, more rules await, each carrying lessons to help us navigate adversity and embrace authentic living. Stay with Mind of Stoic, and together, we'll continue uncovering the wisdom that can guide us through life's storms.